had 3 pages. Now I recognize I just need to condense it down to 1 page. Everything has to be a main quick, because God's attention is pretty short. So he needs just quick bullet points. So my name, and this is my address. You will find me praying on my knees 3 times a day. And we all can proclaim that. At 8:15 we have in the prayer line, and 7 p.m. we are here on the church. Address is, I'm in your presence all the time. Allegedly. We can say that. And education, Bible cover to cover by God. And IPC, it's from the education of IPC, one of the strongest doctrinal stand that a denomination can take. That's my education. And we all have that. All of us have that. Popular Christian books and revival messages, and I've gotten all of it. My education is great, and we all have that, right? We all have the great preachers that we listen to. And we have, I have read these books, and I know these quotes, and I know these doctrines. Great education was my personal experience. Before it was only director and treasurer and planning youth activities. Now it has become a little higher. Say what? I mean, there is definite growth here, folks. And now I can tell God, you gave me 5 talent, I have turned it into 10. Again, allegedly. Now I'm not only in one church, I have responsibility of 2. And something we all have this. We have this thing. We can say all of this. We all have professional experiences, right? I was in Kuwait, I was in Dubai. My worship at that time was so much on fire. But here, coming after here, something has happened. Maybe I don't know what has happened. God has changed. No. Professional experience, great. And all the Christendom, we are so big on pointing out all the things that we have done for Christendom. The money that we have given, the time that we have given, how much we have built churches, and how much we have given to ministry, and how much we have prayed for them. We all have certain things that we have done. That we can say, yup, I did it. Hey, go down there. Training and volunteer service. I'm a pastor's kid. That's awesome. That's some kind of awesome badge. Badge of honor. A pastor's kid. But not only that, don't. Gotta take a step higher too. From a pastor's kid, I'm now a pastor too. Church internship, I've shadowed the pastor and sat along for important decisions. We have these things. This is my resume, and you can make a resume as well. And we're going to stand in front of God with this. Thinking that, man, I did all of this, God. I did all of this. Some of you can probably take a step higher and say, I prophesied in your name. Some of you can take a step higher and I healed in your name.
Lord.
This is the resume that we're going to stand with in front of God with. This is the accomplishments that we have. Please take it out, dude. They're going to. This is the accomplishments that we have. And all we have are these accomplishments. You know what this resume should say? That without you I cannot do anything. That without you I am nothing. That if I can enter into the throne of grace, it is because of your spilled blood. Amen. And I cannot I cannot stand before you with my own righteousness and the things that I have done. Who cares that you have given money to this church? Who cares that you saw for hours that you built this church? Who cares when you came here with McDonald's, now it's like this? Who cares that you did something? It is because of the righteousness of Christ that you and I can stand. Amen. Let us get it through our head this morning that you and I will stand one day in front of the judgment seat of Christ. There's a verse in James, a very profound verse. It says, what is your life? The question is not what is our life. It is what is
Your life.
your life.
Amen.
Because if it was our life, we can bring our family together. We can bring our family together and hey, they can vouch for me. Because if it was our life, we can bring our church together and they can vouch for me. It is what is your life. It is your life that God is going to judge.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And He's going to open many books. One of them will be the book of remembrance. The things that you thought nobody saw. The things that you spoke that you thought nobody heard. The things that is done in darkness will be shouted off in the rooftop that day.
Amen. Hallelujah.
The things that were done in darkness will be picked up and be shouted off in the rooftop. Fear God, folks.
Amen.
Because one day we will stand in front of Him. One day we will stand in front of Him. Fear God. Because the judge is coming. That day He's not going to ask, career-wise, you got it good? Great. Money, how much money? Because what do you think? You can buy off this God who owns the earth? Because that's how some people act. I gave to this much mission and work. I gave money. You can buy your way out of God. You know, whenever we get into a tough situation, whenever I get into a tough situation, I joke around and try to get out of that tough situation. I'm a very good, I can argue my way out. Well, not better than Winston. But I can argue my way out. And we folks, we can shout our way out.
Amen.
LB can testify that to her dad. We can shout our way out. What are you going to do? We're going to use all those tactics in front of God? We're going to shout at God? His voice is like a roaring thunder. Try, whenever it's thundering, go shout at that thunder. What are you going to do? This morning, let's come to a realization. You know, this Pentecostalism for many years and doing this for many years and making this casual attitude and casual relaxed attitude, this thing that we have made into worship and this thing that we, you know, I can have bitterness and hatred towards someone else and still take part in Lord's Supper. Man, start fearing God because you and I will stand in front of Him. Start fearing God. This casual approach of how, man, I can use my money the way that I want, use my time the way that I want, just for and indulge myself. One day you and I will have to give an account of our lives.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Father.
A very well-known speaker, Paris Reed, when he goes to Greece, he asks the guide, where is the Bema? Bema is the judgment seat. And at that moment he came into a vision. And he saw an empty space, but he felt absolutely at peace. The most happiness that he had ever experienced in his life. And way far away he saw a big line. And at the end of the line he saw a little coal of fire burning. And somebody pointed him to go stand in that line. And his turn came. And he understood at that moment that I'm going to receive the reward for all the things that I have done here on this earth. And I got excited because the King of Kings is going to come and crown me. And my turn came, he says, I stood, bowed down, thinking the crown will be placed on my head. But the angel said and whispered, stretch forth your hand. I was thinking, I will stretch forth my hand and I will receive the treasures that I had laid up on this earth or on heaven. And I will get a treasure because of all the things that I've done, and there will be a great reward. Then the angel said, do not just stretch your hands, but cup your hands. And the moment he cupped his hands, ashes started to fall in his hand. Ashes. ashes everywhere. In that very moment, he saw the lamb that who had suffered for him. And he got a glimpse of that loving lamb. And he had nothing but ashes to place before him. He had nothing but charayam to place before the King of Kings. I shouldn't say Malayalam. I think charayam is alcohol. Should have been better. Maybe that would have been better. Maybe that would have been better. But there is only ash. I said alcohol, Kristen, instead of ashes. I only have ashes to place before the King of Kings. Now you and I will be judged one day of all the work. Will our work be wood, hay, and stubble? The things that we have done in our lives, does it equal wood, hay, and stubble? The things that we have said, the resources that we have used, would it equal to wood, hay, and stubble?
Thank you, Father.
Or we only have ashes to place before the King of Kings. I want to always live in that realization. God, you stamp eternity in my eyeballs. That I'm always aware of this. That I'm going to stand in front of you one day. That I'm going to stand in front of you, God, one day. That my friends in these friend circles and the family members that I have, I won't have their backing. I don't need to please and have a luxurious and a comfortable life here. I'm going to stand in front of God one day. And God, make us ready for it. Because you and I cannot judge. But do you hear the clouds shuffling? The judge is coming. Do you hear the rumbling in the scenery? The judge is coming. The judge is coming. Do we have more than ashes in our hands to offer to the King of Kings? May God bless you with these words. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.